Hey guys, what's up? It is Sabrina here and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today is one that I am so excited for because I truly think that it will help all of you pregnant mamas out there. Essentially what I want to do is talk about all of the things that I do throughout my pregnancy to ensure that I take care of myself and that I'm staying healthy. So this video is going to be my pregnancy wellness routine, and obviously I do some of these things every single day, some I do a little bit throughout the week. Taking care of yourself when you're pregnant goes far beyond just the physical. I think nutrition is a huge part of it. Physical health is definitely a huge part of it, but also spiritual health. And so I want to touch on all of those different elements today. First of all, I want to just say that doing these things isn't going to ensure that you have the best pregnancy in the world. You may still struggle quite a bit with different things. Every single pregnancy is different. And I'm not saying that by doing these things you can have the best pregnancy in the world, but I do think that regardless of how your pregnancy is going, these are important things to implement. This is just me sharing some things that I do in my pregnancy to help myself stay well and to stay healthy. So the first thing is praying over the baby and the postpartum season. This is so important, and that's why I want to start off this video with that, because we often neglect the spiritual side of our lives in most seasons of life, but especially during the pregnancy and postpartum season. And I understand why it's really hard to stay consistent with reading your Bible and prayer and meditation, especially if you're pregnant with other littles in the house and you just can't find time to sleep enough or rest enough, and on top of everything you have so much going on. However, praying is so essential. So obviously reading your Bible is so important as well. That's how we hear what God has to tell us. But praying is us communicating to Him, and prayer does so much for our souls. God really works in us through prayer. I have just noticed that this pregnancy has been so much more relaxed, partly because it's my second pregnancy, but also because I have been in prayer so much more. Every time I'm tempted to be stressed out over the state of the baby, over the future, over how I'm going to handle things with the second child, I just pray and I leave it in the Lord's hands. Also, there's a lot about the postpartum season that is really scary for me, because last time I did struggle with some, I wouldn't say depression, but it was like baby blues, and I'm worried that will get worse. Of course, that's kind of in the back of most moms' minds. And then on top of that, I remember just being so extremely exhausted. There's a temptation to be fearful of how I'm going to handle all that. And so prayer over the current pregnancy and the postpartum season is so essential. The second thing is to stay active and stretch. That's something that I have been implementing in my routine, and it has helped a lot. My first pregnancy, I did not work out at all before or during or even really after. But this pregnancy, I decided to commit myself to working out. So I was staying quite active up until, I would say, the third trimester, beginning of the third trimester. Now that I'm kind of entering the last stage of my pregnancy, I'm trying to get back into it, because it is so important to move your body, to stay mobile, to make sure your legs and your arms and your body is just able to stretch and be flexible. There are so many benefits to staying active and stretching during pregnancy, and honestly, any season of life. A huge thing that actually helped my back pain this time around was stretching. I know that sounds weird, but my chiropractor told me, he's like, I can adjust you and put you back in alignment, but unless you're stretching every day, it's not going to stay that way. So I followed his advice, and it made a huge difference. Particularly stretching my hamstrings and my legs helped keep my pelvic floor and lower back in alignment. As far as staying active, I haven't been weightlifting as much at the gym anymore, but I go on walks and I also play pickleball. Pickleball is a sport that is pretty low impact depending how you play. I'm not out here running left and right on the court. It has been really fun for me because it's a little easier than tennis. There's not so much space on the court to run anyways. So with that, I actually wanted to talk about some shoes that I got sent from Fitville that are specifically tennis shoes or pickleball shoes. This company did reach out to me and see if I wanted to try out their shoes. When I played pickleball, I would just wear Converse or running shoes, and all the time my ankle would roll. I didn't have some proper shoes to have on the court. That's why I was kind of excited to receive these, because I definitely needed some. These are the shoes that I chose, and they are the Court Tennis Amadeus V5 shoes. I got them in a 9.5 wide in women's. I really like these because I have high arches on my feet. I also recently sprained my ankle this summer. I just am so scared of rolling my ankles and my arch gets really sore after a couple hours in regular flatter shoes. So this one really supplies that heel and arch support, which I really like. They are very sturdy shoes, great for playing tennis or doing anything active, walking, things like that. They have good memory foam on the bottom and then structure support on the side. So I was actually really surprised, and I really do like these for that. They provide a wide toe box. As you can see, they are wider over here. And what this does is it is ample space for toe comfort with a snug heel to prevent slipping. They're also support for flat feet and corns relief. I don't have flat feet, I have very arched feet, but yet they still do a good job of support. Prevent pronation and ankle sprains. Rubber on the bottom really helps to not have you slipping, which is why they're great for tennis. They have that grip when you're on the court. I have a 28% discount for you guys provided with a link, and that discount only works with the items in the link, but I will put that all in the description box for you guys if you want to check out Fitville. Basically, my point there is just to stay active. It is so important for you, and you will notice a difference in your pregnancy later on, especially during labor and delivery, if you do stay active. The third thing is eating high protein meals, not skipping meals. This is so hard for me because I don't have a huge appetite, never have during my life, so it's really hard to stay consistent with eating meals. I'm so tempted to just skip them. But you guys, like, it's so important that you eat consistently, especially if you're a mom, because you have kids to take care of, and if you are feeling weak and dizzy all the time and low energy, you can't really be there for your kids. So especially when you're pregnant, it's important to not skip meals, and it's important to eat high protein meals. One of the favorite ways that I have to get that protein in is through yogurt bowls and through smoothies. So I make my own Greek yogurt at home. You don't have to, but I just like to mix almond butter or peanut butter in there, and then granola and fruits, and it just helps boost me for a couple hours. You'll be shocked at how much Greek yogurt will keep you going. And then also I make smoothies. So I just toss in my protein powders and everything in there, blend it all up, and it's easy to eat. Lots of eggs, meat, and things like that will just help you keep your protein levels up. Number 4 is listening to my body and resting throughout the day. This is something that I've had to implement, especially in the first trimester when I was really nauseous and I still had a child to take care of and a household to run. I would just break up my day, so do things for about 30 minutes, then rest for another 30 minutes, go back to doing things. I tried to play with my daughter a lot in the living room on the couch, so that way I didn't have to get up a ton. Even now, throughout my pregnancy, towards the end, it is still so important for me to rest. If I'm on my feet all day, I notice the difference. I just feel so much more tired. I have way more aches and pains in my body, and it's just really hard. I know that there are women out there who work full-time jobs and they're pregnant, and I would say to you, if you have to be on your feet all day long, I would talk to the manager or your boss or whoever's in charge and ask them, like, hey, can I take just like 5 minutes out of every hour or so to sit down and rest my body? Number 5 is spending more time outside in nature. I know this can be hard for some of us who don't live in super pretty or easily accessible parks or areas, even if it's just literally sitting out on your porch or going for a quick walk around the neighborhood. For me, I've just noticed such an improvement in my mindset and just in the way that I feel and view the day. I also have a toddler that absolutely loves being outside, so it's really helpful to get her and me out. I notice a change in both of our moods when we do this. God did not create us to be indoors 24/7, so make sure you're getting yourself outside, even if it's just for half an hour or an hour to a day. Number 6 is wearing a belly band. So this is a belly band I had with my first pregnancy, and I'm obviously using it again in this one. There's so many on Amazon if you guys want to look. I think this one was $20, so very affordable. But this, in my first pregnancy especially, saved me so much back pain. When I started wearing this, I noticed a huge improvement. What this does is it just pulls in your lower stomach just a little bit so that your back feels like it's not just leaning forward a whole ton. And so I really love to wear this when I go out, if I know I'm going shopping or if I go on a walk or just something where I know I'm going to be standing and moving a lot. I don't wear this when I sit down. I try not to wear it all day. That's another thing, is sometimes you can become too dependent on this, and you definitely don't want to do that. If you just wear it when you do a lot of physical activity, it's fine. This just goes like right there, and then it kind of just holds it up a little bit. Number 7 is creating a slow, relaxing evening routine. The days are usually so busy and hustle bustle for me, and I'm sure it is like that for a lot of people as well, other mothers. And so in the nighttime is when I like to just put my daughter to bed early at 8 o'clock and just spend like an hour and a half, because I try to go to bed pretty early, but just an hour and a half of just showering and moisturizing my body and just getting into a calm, relaxing evening. I eat some snacks, I watch some shows with my husband sometimes, especially before you have a newborn. Please take advantage of this because newborns will have you tired for months. Sleep also for me in pregnancy is pretty uncomfortable, and I don't get a lot of it because I'm so uncomfortable, but at least my evenings are very nice and relaxing and slow. And that leads into the next thing, which is moisturizing my body every single night. So I literally moisturize my arms with lotion, my legs, and especially my belly. I will show the ones that I like to use on my belly. I use one of the oil-based ones in the mornings, and then I use the more thicker lotion one at night. Not only does it feel amazing, you'll smell amazing, but also as your body is changing and growing and things are stretching and moving, it just feels so nice to have that oil moisturized. You definitely don't want dry skin to just crack and stretch. It's not so much about stretch marks because I don't really care too much about stretch marks, especially with this pregnancy, but it does feel good to have your skin very elastic and smooth and moisturized. Getting your whole body, not just your belly, your whole body nice and moisturized every single evening feels amazing. The last thing to talk about is getting to bed early. This is so important, especially in your pregnancy, because we are not getting the best quality sleep when you've got a big belly and you're having to go to the bathroom every 10 minutes. What I like to do is try to get myself to bed early. That way at least I can have the most optimal hours of sleep, which I believe is from like, I think 10 to 2 a.m. I try to sleep during that time, and in order to do that, I need to have a good evening routine that sets me up for success. So instead of scrolling or just watching TV for hours into the night, when you are pregnant, it's really important to prioritize sleep, especially if you have commitments that need you in the morning. That way you can get your proper sleep and then be able to show up for whatever you need to. So anyways, guys, that is about it for all of the things that I do during my pregnancy and my wellness routine, some of the things I like to implement. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.